Hi, BookTube. It's Gina. Hope you are well. Today is Wednesday, and I wanted to do a chatty catch up on Book Trek 2021. So if you don't know, Book Trek 2021 is a 5-month mission to read Star Trek fiction, and it's a ton of fun. I'll give you a little background on my Star Trek watching history, because I've considered myself somebody who likes Star Trek, but I never really considered myself to be like a Trekkie or a huge Star Trek fan. So I was super excited when Vin at Revenant Reads, who is the leader of the Book Trek 2021, asked if I wanted to participate and help to lead some videos and just talk about Star Trek and Star Trek books. And I've just been having a blast with it so far. So we're reading from each of the Star Trek series, starting out back in August. We started with the original series, and then we read from The Next Generation, and now we are in Deep Space Nine. Now, I feel like I'm doing a good job if I read one Star Trek book a month, which is pretty much what I have done. And for this month, I read Deep Space Nine, The Big Game. And this was a fun read. It wasn't spectacular, but it's fairly short, and it was really enjoyable. Deep Space Nine is a series that I had never watched when it was out originally on TV. I had never watched any of the episodes. So one thing that I did over the pandemic as sort of part of my evening routine, this was about a year ago when I was just feeling so at odds. I work from home, and I have for quite a long time. But at the end of the day, I was always just feeling like so... I'm not even sure what I was feeling, but it was hard to transition myself from my work day to my off hours, working from home, and also not having a lot of time where I was being away from the house. I was at home all the time, like all of us were. And so I thought I would do a really specific sort of routine or ritual to end my work day and start my off hours. And the routine I settled on was to fix a nice drink and watch a series. And I decided I was going to start watching the series from beginning to end. It actually started with MASH. Remember that old 70s series, MASH? Because I had been watching it, and I realized it was on Netflix, and I thought, oh, this is perfect. I'm going to watch MASH from start to finish. And after I did that, of course, I was in the routine. And so I started watching Star Trek, and I didn't go in order. I started with The Next Generation because that was the Star Trek that I had mainly watched back in the 90s and my 20s. I lived with my sister in an apartment, and then after she left, I lived with a roommate in that same apartment. And part of our evening routine was to watch The Next Generation pretty much every night. It was on at 10 o'clock, a repeat. I think at that point it was already syndicated. So we always watched The Next Generation. So I had very fond memories of that. So I started watching The Next Generation, watched it from beginning to end. And then I thought, I'm going to watch all of the Star Trek series. I'm going to start at the original series. I'm just going to go in order because I had very fond memories of watching the original series and actually being very, very scared of it when I was a little kid, probably 4 or 5. It must have been in reruns at that point because that would have been like 1971 or 72. But my dad was a fan. So I started just incorporating like Star Trek and watching it from beginning to end. And so I'm now on my TV watching up to Enterprise. And so I've watched the original series, The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager, both of which, Voyager and Deep Space Nine, I had not seen any episodes of. So it was really fun to just watch them from beginning to end without like any expectations. I had no idea what it was going to be like, and it was fantastic. I'm now watching Enterprise, and I was very upset because they took Enterprise off of Netflix. However, I realized it is also on Hulu. So if you're also a Trekkie and you have Hulu, you can watch the Star Trek episodes on CBS on Hulu. So Yay! I was very excited about that. So I'm watching Enterprise. It's my new evening routine. Finish my workday, fix myself a little drink. I have a soda stream. Sometimes I just drew a sparkling water. On the weekends, I will maybe do a little bit of wine in it. But this month I read The Big Game. This is by Sandy Schofield, and it was good. So the plot of this is Quark, the Ferengi who owns the bar on Deep Space Nine, decides to hold a poker tournament. And Quark is always a little sneaky. He's planning to skim. He's going to cheat. And the captain is always sort of left out of the loop. And Odo, who's the security officer, is always a little suspicious of Quark and keeps an eye on him. So during the big poker game, somebody gets murdered. Quark tries to hide the body. Odo gets involved, and it's hilarious. I thought when I first started this, it was going to be sort of like, I thought Odo was going to be sort of like a Poirot character. I thought it was just going to be a murder mystery, but of course, which I would have loved. It was not, though. It also then, the second sort of side of the story was the station itself was being rocked by these like earthquake-like waves. They didn't know what was causing it. And of course, one of the gamblers in the poker game is going to be kind of the secret to figuring out what's going on at the station. So this, I would say, was not quite as enjoyable to read as the last two I've read that I really enjoyed. This was a good, kind of a fun story. Would fall into the same realm, I think, for me as like a 3-star cozy mystery. This is not cozy, but in that same realm, like where I enjoyed it, I will keep reading more of these stories, but it was not wonderful. I didn't love it. I did like it a lot, though. So that was this book for Book Trek 2021. And I'm probably going to do another video shortly because there's a couple more things I want to do. I want to do a misread. How about that? From Star Trek to misread, all in the same video. But I think I'm going to do a misread shelf tour and do a giveaway. I've got a couple of duplicates, I realized, in my collection. So I'm going to probably do a giveaway. And then I think I'm also going to do a 1,000 subscriber Q&A. And I'm trying to convince my producer, Greg, to take some questions. So we'll see if we can get him to cooperate. But I'll record another video when we decide what we're going to do and give you a call for some questions. So hope you're well, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.